Welcome to Calcutta Races Monsoon Meeting 15-day Sunday 29 September 2019 race preview running at the Calcutta Monsoon Derby Day. First race will be the Star Precision Handicap to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. Number 1 will be Utaka. Utaka's last outing was in race number 70 over 1100 meters this season, where Utaka finished on 6th after much efforts, was amongst the front runners in the final stages, but faded back. Also in the same race we had number 9, that is Hurricane Storm, who was the eventual winner, came up with a strong run on the outside and went on to win it by a long neck. Also in the same race we had number 10, Jorel, who finished right at the back end to finish on 9th. Number 2, we're looking at Pep Talk. Pep Talks just had one start this season in race number 21 over 1400 meters, where Pep Talk finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was X-Light, who came up with a strong run on the outside and went on to win that race by a long neck. Number 3 will be the Six Seal. The Six Seal's last outing was in the winter season, is now running after a long layoff. Last outing being in race number 194 over 1200 meters, where Six Seal travelled 9 till it turned for home and travelled very wide in the final stages of the race and finished 2 ahead to finish on 7th. And the eventual winner of that race was Praiser Gaze. Number 4, we're looking at Knight's Gambit. Knight's Gambit's had 3 outings this monsoon meeting. Finished off the board in all 3 outings. Last outing being over 1400 meters in race number 62, when Knight's Gambit finished 9th out of 10 runners, and the winner of that race was Fabiola. Number 5 will be Mrs. Willy-Nilly. Mrs. Willy-Nilly's last outing was not impressive at all in race number 56 over 1200 meters, where Mrs. Willy-Nilly travelled 6 till it turned for home and then dropped back 1 place to finish on 7th eventually. And the winner of that race was Shimmering Star, who got that race by 4 1/4 lengths. Number 6, we're looking at San Remo. San Remo's last outing was in the winter season and in race number 203 over a mile, where San Remo finished right at the back end to finish 12th out of 12 runners, and the winner of that race was Duchamp. Number 7 will be Imprimatur. Imprimatur's last outing was in race number 47 over 1200 meters, where Imprimatur finished on 8th, and the winner of that race is The Last Judgment. Number 8, we're looking at ITSAMOOCOW. ITSAMOOCOW's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 90 of 1100 meters. Quite an eye-catching run by ITSAMOOCOW. Travelled very wide in the final stage of the race, but was in the front bunch and finished on 3rd was ITSAMOOCOW. The winner of that race was Tia Queen, this time out being ridden by jockey C. Alford. We move on to the second race, which will be the Stony Valley Handicap to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. Number 1 will be Poet. Poet's last outing was in race number 80 over 1400 meters, where Poet finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Ashna. And this time Poet running in the lower class, in class 3. You need to watch out for Poet, being ridden out by jockey S. John. Number 2 will be Sereno. Sereno's last outing was in race number 65 over 1200 meters, where Sereno travelled 2nd till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and was overtaken on the outside by the few runners. And Sereno finished on 5th eventually, and the winner of that race was KRAMER. Sereno also running in the lower class this time out. Number 3 will be Shimmering Star. Strong suit out of Shining Glory. Has done nothing wrong this monsoon meeting. Has had 3 starts and now has won all 3 outings. Last outing when being in race number 75 of 1100 meters. Justified the favoritism and won that race much more impressively than its previous 2 starts. Won it by 5 lengths by beating Marigold. Number 4 will be Tough Enough. Tough Enough's last outing was in race number 84 over 1200 meters. Quite impressive. Tough Enough travelled 4th till it turned firm and then gradually came up with a strong run down in the centre and took over the running and went on to win it by 3.5 lengths by beating Aquitania. Also in the same race we had number 5, Aquitania, who finished on 2nd. Number 6, we are looking at Sanvi. Sanvi's last outing was in the winter season in race number 193 over 1400 meters, where Sanvi travelled 7 till it turned firm and then gradually gained places on the stand side and finished on a close 3rd was Sanvi, and the winner of that race was Oakbrook. Number 7, we are looking at Jacobin. Jacobin's last outing was in the winter season, ended off on a good note by winning in race number 101 over 1400 meters, where Jacobin was right at the back end, travelling 8th out of 8 runners till it turned firm and then gradually gained places towards the inner rail and went on to win it by 3/4 of a length by beating Coup de Gras. Number 8 will be Astoria. Astoria's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, won its first 2 starts over 1100 meters. Last start being over the same distance in race number 50. Finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Adira, who was pretty impressive that day, won it by a length and 3/4. Number 9 will be Next Star. Next Star's last outing was in race number 63, this monsoon meeting over 1100 meters, where Next Star finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Dancing Prince, who travelled very wide in the final stage of the race, but yet got that race by 2.5 lengths. Number 10, we're looking at Dungle. Dungle's last outing was very impressive in race number 89 over 1200 meters just last week, where Dungle travelled 5th till it turned firm and then gradually came up with a very strong run on the outside and went on to win that race by about a length by beating Tiburon. Number 11 will be the Straddle. Straddle's last outing was in the winter season over a mile in race number 202, where the Straddle finished on 7th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Mtrs. We move on to the 3rd race, which will be the Alice Springs Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Number 1 will be RAQS. RAQS' last outing was in race number 87 this season over 1800 meters, where RAQS travelled 8th till it turned firm and then gradually gained a couple of places and finished on 6th after much efforts. Also in the same race we had number 2 Expensive Affair, who's surely been knocking on the door, finished on 4th, and number 4 Rustler, who finished a very good 2nd, did lead the fray, but was overtaken on the outside, who was the eventual winner. That was Rishyank, who went on to win that race by a nose. Number 3 will be Louverture. Louverture's had 2 starts at this monsoon meeting. Won its first start very impressively over 1400 meters. Ran after that in the Phillies Trial Stakes in race number 72. Was not impressive at all. Finished on 5th after much efforts. And the winner of that race was IZZY, who was too good that day. Won it by 4 lengths. Number 5, we're looking at Supernormal. Supernormal's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, finished 10th in first 2 starts. Last outing over 1400 meters was pretty impressive in race number 76, where Supernormal travelled quite wide and finished on 3rd. And the winner of that race was stablemate Fancourt. Number 6, we're looking at Kaiden. Kaiden's last outing was over 1400 meters and race number 91 just last week, where Kaiden travelled 5th till it turned for home and remained in that spot through the way, and the winner of that race was Demonstrate. Number 7 will be HUKUMAT, win legend out of Epic. Just one start here in Calcutta on debut after its run in Bangalore. And HUKUMAT in race number 64 over 1200 meters absolutely blew the field away. Travelled 3rd till it turned firm and then gradually took over the running in the last 200 meters and won that race by 5 lengths by beating Abenaki. Was an impressive winner. HUKUMAT might just repeat it again. Number 8 will be Romantic Zeal. 2 starts this monsoon meeting, finished 3rd in its first start over 1400 meters. Last start was over 2000 meters, where Romantic Zeal finished on 5th after much efforts. And the winner of that race was Descartes, who was too good that day, won it by 2 lengths. We move on to the 4th race, which will be the Captain Cook Handicap to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. We're looking at number 1, San Martino, Admiral of the Fleet out of San Sperel. Has had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, finished 3rd in its first start over 1,100 meters. And the last start over 1,200 meters in race number 65 was pretty poor, finished on 9th out of 9 runners. And the winner of that race was KRAMER, who went on to win it by a length and 3/4. Number 2 will be Cold Frontier. Cold Frontier's last outing was in race number 93 over 2,000 meters, where Cold Frontier travelled 5th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a couple of places and travelled very wide of the track, but couldn't match twice to the winner and finished on 3rd was Cold Frontier, and the winner of that race was stablemate Smith & Wesson. Number 3, we're looking at Sniper. King Dakar Zella's last outing was very impressive over 1,800 meters this monster meeting in race number 86, where Sniper made it a pillar-to-post victory and absolutely blew them all away. Went on to win that race by 9 3/4 lengths by beating stablemate Smith & Wesson. Also in the same race we had number 4, Midnight Phantom, who finished on 3rd. Number 5 will be Fiorelle. Fiorelle's had 3 starts this monsoon meeting, finished 3rd in its first start. Second start came out and won it by beating Apna Time Aiga over a mile. Last start was pretty unlucky in race number 69 over the same distance, where Fiorelle travelled 2nd all the way and remained in that spot. Couldn't match twice to the winner. That was Arjuna, who won that race by a length and 1/4. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the one that we've been waiting for the entire monsoon season, the Calcutta Monsoon Derby 2019 Grade 2, to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. We're looking at number 1, INCA, air support out of Systematic. Last outing was in race number 55 over a mile, where INCA travelled 2nd till it turned for home and gradually took over the running in the last 100 meters and went on to win it by a length and 3/4 by beating Avaberry. Number 2, we are looking at Jayavant, win legend out of Validate, having last start in the Calcutta Cold Trial Stakes this season in race number 78. Jayavant, after much efforts, finished a faraway 3rd. Also in the same race, we had number 3, Script, who finished 1 behind to finish on 4th. Also in the same race, we had number 4, TENNO, the only outstation challenger in the Derby, who came out and won the Calcutta Cold Trial Stakes in an absolute pulverizing fashion and came up with a real rattle on the outside and went on to win it by 2 3/4 lengths. Also in the same race we had number 5 Top Notch, who finished on 6th, and number 6 Trafalgar, who finished on a very impressive 2nd behind TENNO. We need to wait and watch as what TENNO and Trafalgar have in offer for us. Number 7, we're looking at IZZY. IZZY made her debut in the Calcutta cold weather season in race number 171 and went on to win that race, and then ran 2 races here in Calcutta in the monsoon meeting and has won that too, and has been unbeaten as IZZY. Last outing was in the Phillies Trial Stakes in race number 72, where IZZY came up with a real rattle on the stand side and blew the field away by beating Valeria by 4 lengths. Also in the same race we had number 8, Rosina, who finished on 3rd. Number 9, we're looking at Shivalik Sight. Shivalik Sight's last outing was over 1400 meters in race number 60, where Shivalik Sight made it a pillar-to-post victory and went on to win it by 4.5 lengths by beating Aggression. This time out being ridden by Akshay Kumar is Shivalik Sight in the Calcutta Monsoon Derby. We move on to the 6th race, which will be the Sana Cup, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. Number 1 will be Amorous White. Amorous White's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 79 over 1400 meters, where Amorous White was leading the way and then eventually overtaken on the outside by the great big-hearted Multitude, who went on to win that race by 6.25 lengths. Amorous White settled for 2nd spot. Also in the same race we had number 2 Big Orange, who finished on 4th, and number 3 Castle Bridge, who finished on 3rd. Number 4 will be Breeze of the South, dancing forever out of Queen of Normandy. Last starting was pretty impressive, over 1800 meters in race number 85, where Breeze of the South traveled 4 till it turned for home and then gradually took over the running in the last 100 meters, but eventually was overtaken in the last few strides by Who Makes the Rules, who won that race by 3/4 of a length, and Breeze of the South settled for 2nd spot. Number 5 will be KRAMER. KRAMER's last outing was in race number 65 over 1200 meters, where KRAMER really sprung a surprise at a 12-1 shot and came out and won that race by a length and 3/4 by beating the Kiss. Number 6 will be Capricious. Capricious's last outing was in race number 59, this monsoon meeting over 1400 meters, where Capricious finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Hartnell, who had a ding-dong battle between his stablemate, that is Admiral Hatsu, but Hartnell was the eventual winner, who won that race by a long neck. Number 7, we're looking at Shivesh. Shivesh has had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, finished on the board in both its outings. Last outing was in race number 38 over 1400 meters, where Shivesh traveled 7th till it turned for home and then gradually gained places towards the center of the track and finished on a close 3rd, and the winner of that race was the Eastern Star. Number 8, we're looking at Perpetual Winning. Net Wizard of Perpetual Glory just had 1 start in race number 18, this monster meeting over 1200 meters. That was in the month of July, where Perpetual Winning traveled 2nd till it turned for home and then gradually took over the running in the final stages and went on to win that race by 3.5 lengths by beating Arjuna. And if everything's well with Perpetual Winning, he might just repeat it again. We move on to the 7th and last race, which will be the Descriptive Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. Number 1 will be Kantai. Revell at a Mini Mouse has had 3 outings this monsoon meeting, pretty impressive in all 3 starts. Finished 2nd in its first start, won its 2nd start over 1400 meters. Last outing over the same distance in race number 57, travelled 6th till it turned firm and then came up with a late dash to finish on 2nd, 3.25 lengths behind the winner. That was Jayavant. Number 2 will be Aftershock. Aftershock's pretty impressive last outing in race number 77 over 1400 meters, where Aftershock made it a pillar-to-post victory by beating Fantasia by a length and a half. Number 3 will be Big Star. Big Star's had 3 outings this monster meeting, finished off the board in first 2 starts. Last outing was quite an eye-catcher in race number 82 over 1400 meters, where Big Star travelled 5th till it turned firm, gradually gained a couple of places towards the stand side and finished on 3rd was Big Star, and the winner of that race was Fantasia. Number 4, we're looking at East Side. East Side's had 2 starts this monster meeting, won its first start in race number 25 over 1400 meters, and last start was in the Calcutta Fillies Trial Stakes, where East Side finished on 4th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was IZZY, who got that race by 4 lengths. Number 5 will be Marbella. Declaration of War of Isfahan. Won its first outing here in race number 17. Last outing was not impressive at all. Didn't jump out and eventually took off and finished on 6th out of 6. Absolutely detached was Marbella. This time running with blinkers on. You need to wait and watch as what Marbella has in store for us. Number 6 will be AIRLIFT. AIRLIFT's last outing was over 1200 meters in race number 84 this monsoon meeting, where AIRLIFT finished on 6th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Tough Enough. Came up with a real tough run down in the center and went on to win that race by 3.5 lengths. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, and I hope to see you on Derby Day tomorrow afternoon.